Sorry. Hi guys. Oops. My table just did a little wobble. My tea's almost gone and it's cold because I've been filming this like 5 times. I can't seem to get it right. I was on the porch and then I came in here. I'm in my family room and you can see the little kumquat tree that's behind me right here. So there's a little table that sits here. It's like a bar table and it's up against these beautiful windows that overlook the front view of the farm. So, but I've had this, I must have done this 5 times, and the last time I did it, my battery went dead, and I was done. And as soon as I was going to say one more thing, the battery went dead. So anyway, welcome. For all new viewers, my name's Bonnie, and this is a podcast about knitting, spinning, weaving, my creative life, and this is actually a October 2020 making diary, so I'm just kind of chronicling all of the things that I make over the next month. And excuse me, I have something on my eye. So I just wanted to say welcome to all the new viewers. I've noticed over the last couple days there's been quite a surge of subscriptions or people who are subscribing, so thank you so much. And also thank you so much to everybody that's leaving comments and everybody that's watching and giving me a thumbs up. It's really overwhelming. I'm really thrilled. I really enjoy this. So today what I thought we would do is I'm going to show you what I bought at Tamarack when we went on our little field trip yesterday. And there's some things in there that are Christmas gifts that I don't think that I can show because there are some people that watch, so I won't be able to show that. But I am going to show a few things, and I'm trying to figure out where the best places for me to look. I feel like I'm not looking at you, so I'll have to experiment with that. But anyway, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just wanted to get on here and just say hello and just talk with you a little bit. Tomorrow, I'm going to take you to a little farmer's market that's close to my house. And I'm going to introduce you to Beatrice, Beauty, and Esperado. Those are my 3 horses. So I'll share that experience with you. But today I'm going to show you the haul that I got, which it isn't very big. I focus mainly on Christmas presents. And then I want to share my textile collection with you. I've been collecting textiles for a very long time, and I collect historic clothing. I collect, and it could be in any shape. It could be completely in ruins, but if I see a new technique or something there that I think is pretty interesting, I'll get it. I have a quilt collection, clothing collection, and one of my podcasts earlier this year, I shared with you, it was a sweater. It was a cardigan sweater from the 1950s, and it had a fur collar. So the podcast was about that sweater and how those sweaters evolved into going from a simple cardigan to the fur around the collar. So today what I'm going to show is a linen collection, and this is all household linen, and I'll share some of those pieces with you. So I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. It's absolutely gorgeous here today. Again, the temperature is perfect. The sun's been coming in and out a little bit from what I can see, considering I've been behind a computer screen all day. So sit back and grab yourself a cup of tea. And this is my, in the pink colorway, this is my Clarice Cliff. She was an early 20th century pottery designer, and she would take transfers from 19th century, 18th century dinnerware, and then she would transfer it into some modern day dinnerware. And she also did a really gorgeous collection of Art Deco teapots and teacups and coffee cups. So her name is Clarice Cliff. You can look her up. This is a coffee cup. They do come in other colors. I have the blue and this pink rose colored, but they actually come in like a purple, a light purple, and a brown. I've never seen them in the big coffee cups. I've only seen them in smaller teacups. So they're out there. So sit back, and I hope you enjoy. This would be day 8 of my making diary. So here we go. Sit back and enjoy. Grab a cup of tea. Oh, one more thing. My tea that I'm drinking is licorice peppermint, and it came from Gaina. She sent me some tea a while back. She's from Tales from Cuckoo Land. So grab a cup of tea. All right, see you soon. Bye. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is this cutting board. And this is a cutting board that I got at Tamarack, and the name of the artist, it's called Paul's Specialties. And he says that he uses a fine grade finish on all of his wood pieces so that it's acceptable for food preparation. And he says there's a groove on one side of the board so that it'll collect all the juices, such as things, juice from tomatoes or meats or pineapples. And you can use both sides. These are the salad tongs, and I had a pair that I bought years ago and they broke. I put them in the dishwasher, which wasn't the smartest thing to do. But this is, it says, Allegheny Terrain Ware LLC. And they had all kinds of wooden spoons. There was one wooden spoon that the inside of the spoon was shaped like a heart. So pretty. So those were the two things for me. Okay, this is the last. I have 3 more gifts, but I can't show them. This is, it's a Christmas ornament, and yesterday I showed the wall of all these are all hand-blown glass, and the artist that does the glass blowing sometimes is there, and you can stand and look through a glass window and watch him blow the glass. But this is for my mom. She loves birds. So I thought I would get her this. And the artist that painted it, looks like Matt Reynolds. It's hard to see through the camera. Then this is West Virginia handmade. So I thought that would be pretty for my mom to put on her Christmas tree. Okay, I'm going to start with this piece. This is a linen piece, and I believe it is all hand spun, and I think it is all hand sewn around the edges. This is, oh no it isn't, it looks like that's machine stitch. There are some hand stitching pieces, but there's a couple guesses that I could make on this piece. If we look at the top of it, it has an opening, and it's pretty big. It's very wide, and it's got a wide opening that extends. Let me see if I can hold this like this. It goes all the way over to there and back. So my guess is that this was used as a feather bed cover, and whether it was originally used for that, I don't know, but there's a seam that runs right here, and it runs right to there. So this was cut in pieces. And traditionally, when someone was weaving on a loom, they would weave as wide as their loom was, and then they would hand stitch the pieces together to make a coverlet, to make a sheet, or whatever it was that they were using the cloth for. So let's see if we can examine this a little better. It's got lots of wear marks on it, as you can see. But the construction of it is pretty crude to make this, but people in the 18th and 19th century, they had rope beds, so they didn't have a mattress and a box spring per se. And there you can see this has been machine stitched here. But they had, rather than a box springs, they had the frame of the bed, and then the place where you would put your mattress, and underneath where the mattress is ropes. And they would there were holes on either side of the frame, and they would string up the ropes so that it could hold the mattress. And most of the mattresses were feather mattresses. Some mattresses were made with straw, and so this is probably something for either a straw or feather mattress. And I think it's just beautiful. I love the colors. Okay, this next piece is a hand-spun and hand-woven linen sheet. And just like I told you before, they would weave their pieces to the width of their fabric, and then they would seam the pieces together. And so you can see this has been seamed together, and all around the edges, this is all hand stitched. And I don't know about you, but I just love the hand stitching on these. I just think it's so beautiful. And this one has a little bit of provenance. Okay, so it says this linen sheet at Aunt Weaver, something July 3, 1894. And I think it was, the heir is Aunt Mary. Okay, and that is about all that I can make out of that. Okay, this is another linen sheet, and as you can see, again, we have the seaming right here, and this is all the finishing work around the edges is all done by hand. the rolled hem, which is just so beautiful. Let's see how the weaver did on her ends. Okay, linen's pretty hard to weave. So the way that you tell, in this, you know, it's, oh, there's a little button right there. A little buttonhole. Isn't that interesting? The way that I have a microscope, and if you look at the fibers closely, and it's a $10 microscope, and if you look at the fibers closely, cotton looks like twisted ribbon under a microscope. Wool looks like fish scales. Any kind of man-made fabric looks like you came out of like a pasta machine, like long tubes. Okay, but that's really interesting. I don't know why they would have a button there. If anybody knows, let me know. That's pretty cool. I've never seen, of all the years that I worked on collections, I've never seen anything like that. Very cool. Learn something new every day. Okay, this is a remnant, probably from a coverlet. Again, this is done in linen, hand spun, hand woven. And what's really interesting about this is when you process linen, the way that you process linen as you're preparing it to go through the scutching and the hackling process, before you do that, you have to wet it, or as the Pennsylvania Germans called it, redding. And some people would do what's called do what's called do redding, and basically they would just lay all the stricts of flax on the ground, and the redding is actually rotting. So you're rotting the outer stalk to get to the fibers on the inside of the plant. And dew redding is the process where you're laying it on the ground, and the dew, the moisture from the ground, is going to rot that outer bark, because what you want is the inside. And I believe that dew redding gives you a silver color, and if you put it in water, sometimes they would lay it on a rock in a stream, it gives you a more tanner color to the linen. So they must have processed this in 2 different ways, or maybe it was 2 different years of flax growing. And I do have all the equipment, and I will demonstrate that. I'll pull out my little, I have a German break and I have an English break, and I'll share those pieces of equipment with you as well. But this is a beautiful piece. I don't know what the name of the pattern is, but you can see the way that they wove this. Most likely it was woven this way, and you've just got this pattern that comes across, starts here, and your threading is one way, and then you've got these blocks, and then you have this on this side, and I'm sure this was joined, possibly. It looks like it was cut, so I'm sure this was a blanket for a bed, which, oh boy, that would be so beautiful. So this is a really beautiful piece. I treasure this. Okay, and here's another hand-spun, hand-woven linen piece. Again, you have, I'm sure this edge right here was attached to the other side. So basically they would weave 2 strips and then they would sew them together. And again, this has all the blocks. I have a book Marguerite Davison wrote it in the early 20s, and she was studying all the early coverlet patterns, and that's what this is. Same with the other one that I just showed. These are coverlet patterns. But the detail and these threads, if you can see, these things are like to weave with that. This is all, that's all single linen. I can't imagine. Okay, it looks like when you do this, you do a shot of tabby and then you do a shot of the pattern. So the tabby is the plain weave. And it looks like the lighter color is the plain weave, and that's in a single. And then this looks like that's double. That's the pattern. That's the pattern weave right there. That's a double thread, and this is a single. Can you imagine? Oh dear. And last but not least, here's a linen towel, and nice woven edges. And let's see if I can see. I believe I have to look close. I think this is all singles as well. Linen's a very, very strong, long stapled fiber. But this is really beautiful. So, and this, it gives a texture. This is a plain weave, but because of the different consistencies in the threads, it gives it a little pattern look, which I think is really cool. So there's my collection. I hope you enjoyed it. So I hope all of you enjoyed my linen collection. It was fun to pull those out. I haven't looked at them for a while. And I hope everybody has a really nice evening. It's around 6:15, and I'm going to take Gabe for a walk and then settle in for the night. So please remember to comment if you can. If you have the time, it would be great. And otherwise, I will see all of you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.